Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge with two blended Scotch whiskeys, neither of which has a website listing. And they have changed hands over the years. This one is Scoresby. The Dimple Pinch, Hague, John Hague and Company. The Dimple Pinch sold in Europe and the rest of the world is the Dimple. For whatever reason, in the United States, it's called Pinch. It's a triangular shaped bottle. It's got a wire mesh around it. You can see that probably. Introduced in 1893, the company was founded in the 1620s. 1627. This is the 15-year aged, 80 proof. There is a 15-year age, 86 proof. There's a 12-year age, and I think there's a 12-year age, 86 proof. But like I said, it's just whatever you happen to see, because they don't even list it on Diago's website. It's not even acknowledged. Yet it's the oldest Scotch whiskey company in the world, Hague. Now they do list the Hague Club. They talk about Hague Club, but not this. All right, here is Scoresby, introduced in 1960. Very rare. Yeah, it's so rare. I'll see it at Walmart. You know it's rare when you can only find it at Walmart and a bunch of other stores. There's the crest with the crown for the Kingdom of Scotland. And it's, oh yeah, this one has that too. If you can see it, a crown and a thistle. And they have some other little pictures on the shield. Sunlight looks like shining through a flying saucer. A maple leaf, for whatever reason, and an antelope. Then they show a lion and a unicorn holding up the shield and the crown with the red. The Connoisseur's Scotch whiskey. This is the Connoisseur's Scotch whiskey. It's like $16 in Louisiana. Now, I know in Georgia it's cheap or whatever. John Neely said he used to get it half that price. Well, no way in Louisiana it's that cheap. Introduced by the Sazerac Company in 1960, but they went kaplooey in the year 2000, and they were bought out. A lot of their products were bought out by Diageo, and then Diageo decided they were going to unload a bunch of brands to Sazerac. So this became a Sazerac product about 4 years ago. And so we got Diageo versus a former Diageo. What up? I'm doing a Scotch Taste Challenge. All right. What up with you, Panthers Rule? Okay, so it's the competition. Here's the main one here. We've been doing the Dimple Pinch against everybody. It was doing really well until it went up against Johnnie Walker Blue Label, and then it got blown up. Got blown up and out of the water. But that's typical because Johnnie Walker Blue Label blows up most everybody. All right, in that class, blended Scotch. So gold, kind of an ecru linen. Background. I think I poured a little bit too much. Let's see if I can get some back in the bottle. I don't want to waste it. Yeah. Spilled a little bit of it. Should have just drunk it. All right, we'll be right back. Now the Dimple Pinch is probably colored because it's pretty amber, kind of amber gold there. But the Scoresby is not colored. You can tell it's so light. that out the way. Sorry about that little delay. So the Scoresby comes in this old Seagram's Canadian type bottle. You'll see this with Yukon Jack, with this rib area around the neck, and the cylinder bottle. That's a carryover from the Seagram's days. And then the Dimple Pinch. You would think 15 years versus 3 years would just be a disaster. Yeah, but then look, Johnny Walker Red Label is age only 3 years, and Johnny Walker won, in my opinion. J&B, Just Rennie and Brooks, J&B Scotch is age only 3 years, and I couldn't tell those apart from the 15-year-olds. So it doesn't speak that well for the Dimple Pinch. Just recovering from the National Socialist Football League draft. Boy, was it a wild one. I didn't really follow it because the draft is like half these players they tout like, oh, he's great, and they have this bio on him. Then they, in 2 years, they're not even playing. They're not any good. I think I saw the bottle in Seagram's Gin. No, Seagram's Gin uses a similar bottle shape, but it's got a different design, and the fact that it's all rumpled, and they call it an ancient bottle, the ancient bottle. It used to be called Seagram's Ancient Bottle Gin. Okay. It's like a basket weave. If you look at it, it's like a basket weave. And then some of the other Seagrams is like this paisley, filigree weirdness. Okay. Oh, okay, it might be an older one. Yeah, they have that basket weave. Okay, so see how light this is? Look, barely even gold. Just like the lightest gold. Almost straw. I would call that straw. But maybe it's gold. We're so used to the gold being dark like amber that it kind of throws off our perception. Yeah. Okay. Looks very light. Yeah, it is. That's what whiskey looks like when you don't add color into it. It's so pale. Pale, pale, pale. Like beer, Rolling Rock beer is very pale like that. If you ever look at Rolling Rock extra pale lager, it is really pale. The thing that always irks me and my friend David is when they say a black IPA. Well, how is it a pale ale in India pale ale if it's black and it's dark, dark, dark brown? Kind of goes against the idea of pale, right? Here we go. Yeah. Honey top white Sara Lee bread. That's what it smells like. Sugar water and whiskey, you know, general whiskey aroma, but these both are 40% alcohol after all. There's a little peatiness here. And I mean a little bitty bit. And that must be the Scoresby, because I remember Scoresby having that little compost aroma. You know, you want to drink stuff smell like compost. All right, tasting. Sugary, sweet, honey top, Sara Lee bread. With a little touch of peat, though. You wouldn't think the pinch would have that, but there's just a pinch of it. Do I like the pinch? Yeah, I like it. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have those smoky scotches, but that's a personal preference thing. It's not a quality. I said this so many times already. It's not a quality issue. I don't drink whiskey on the reg, as people say, the regular. You know what I mean? Like people say, like, well, when you're relaxing and watching a game, what whiskey do you drink? And I tell them, well, I don't drink any. I literally never taste whiskey unless I'm doing a taste challenge or a review. And I'm not making that up. That's the truth. Don't do mixed drinks. Don't make highballs. I don't really have any interest in cocktails. I mean, going to the Sazerac House, the History of Cocktail Music Interactive Museum, it's good. I mean, I like going to it. It's a nice place, but I mean, personally, I don't really care about cocktails. You know, I know there's a radio show comes on in New Orleans every week, The Tales of the Cocktail. So they're all into it. You know, they just, the people will call in, talk about different, well, questions about cocktails. I don't know. This is strong too with that honey top, but it does seem to have a residual peat, not smoke. Forget smoke. There is no smokiness in either one of these whatsoever. But there's a little peatiness like the peat stuff. $15.49. I've seen it for $15.49 around here. For Scoresby, I think that's what I paid at international market. Versus 34 for the Dimple Pinch. Well, actually, I paid $24.99 because I got it at Walmart on some ridiculously weird price. I don't know. It's almost like they're doing the prices wrong. But I can't do anything about that. I can take advantage of it. So in my case, it's about a $9 difference. In a real world case, well, it depends because I think that Scoresby price is all over the place. But still, let's say it's a $15 difference. Am I tasting a $15 difference? I'll tell you the truth. I don't even think I'm tasting a dollar difference. So which one of these would I buy? You say 15 years. It's been in the oak barrels 15 long years, and that stink and rot. And Scoresby's only been in the barrel 3 years. How can you say that? Well, I'm just telling you what I'm tasting. I'll say Scoresby wins. Is it better? No. It's not any better, but it wins by default because it's a lot cheaper. So I'm saying it backwards. Does more expensive always win? Oh, no, 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 no. Does sometimes. So can a lot of times the cheaper product, including beer, be just as good, if not better? Yes. Look what I have in the fridge right now. Simpler Times lager from let me see. I'm gonna call this the I'm gonna say this is the Dimple Pinch. It's the Scoresby. So that's the second time now I've got it confused. I got Dimple Pinch confused with J&B, which was embarrassing. And I got it now confused with Scoresby, which is kind of a little less embarrassing, really, because, you know, the J&B is like a famous brand all over the world. And it uses 42 different Scotch whiskeys, and it's supposed to be so well known. And, it is well known. But these two kind of obscure products, I don't feel as bad getting them confused. Although you would think I should not confuse a 3-year-old with a 15-year-old. But, when it comes to these Scotch whiskeys, you would think the age would make a big difference, but it doesn't really seem to make much difference. More like the ingredients make a difference. I got the Simpler Times lager in my fridge. $6.99 a 12-pack. Well, I mean, is it better than the other ones that I can get, like Ice House or Natural Ice or Pabst Blue Ribbon? Also for $9.99 a 12-pack. It's not better than those, but it sure isn't worse. Now, 10 years ago, yeah, it was worse because Simpler Times had some really weird, outlandish flavors, and it was inferior. But I think Trader Joe's put the pressure on Rhinelander Brewing and said, hey, you got to do better. We got customers bringing this stuff back. It's not really that good. I'm just theorizing. I don't really know that. And then I think they worked on it and they improved it. And their chocolate stout is better. The Bosom heavy lift vessel is better. The Bosom IPA is better. American IPA, the double IPA is better. The Simpler Times Pilsner are better. The Simpler Times Lager is better. They're all better. So do I enjoy drinking it for $6.99 a 12-pack? Yeah, I enjoy drinking it just for whatever price. You know, I just enjoy drinking it. I've been drinking it when I get home from work, and I like it. So if I go to Trader Joe's today, I'm gonna buy another 12 pack. I mean, I can't get in any 12 packs cheaper than that. So, and if it tasted bad, I wouldn't buy it. But it doesn't taste bad, so I'm buying it. And I'm saving $3 every time, and that adds up because, like Ben Franklin said, a penny saved is a penny earned. Poor Richard's Almanac, but that was his pen name. But as we said, a penny saved is a penny earned. Hmm. So anyway, if you see Scoresby, it's a pretty nice product. It's not like world class or the greatest thing, but it's pretty nice. Or if you see the Dimple Pinch, it's pretty nice. But then if you see them a $10 difference or whatever, I'd get the Scoresby. Not coming out worse. Just not coming out worse. Now, some people will say Scoresby, oh, it's the worst stuff. It's so bad. It's so terrible. Oh, it's the worst. It's horrible. It tastes like glue. It tastes like plastic. It tastes like fish scales and all this. Oh, come on, man. They don't even make any bad Scotch whiskeys that I've ever found. I'm serious. I never found one Scotch whiskey that was bad ever in my life. There may be some out there. I haven't run across them. Have I found some that were less good than others? Yeah, obviously. So it's really, in my experience, it's not a matter of some scotches are bad and some are good and some are average. It's like some are good, some are not as good, some are less good, some are really good, some are great. It's all like in the good to very good to excellent range, which to me is a benefit. Yeah, both are smooth to an extent. Had Johnny Walker Black highball last night. See, I never had Johnny Walker Black in a highball or neat or any way. I'm going to look into both of these. Yeah. Like I said, I wish you could look at their website and it could give you a locator tool and all that. Huh. No website, nothing. So it's all about just looking around, I guess, trying to find it. Mm. Yeah, fine. It's fine. Now, somebody might say, if you think Scoresby's good, you don't know Scotch. Well, I guess I don't know Scotch whiskey, and I don't need to know it. And people are not required to watch. I do appreciate people watching. I like for people to watch. I like to talk to them like Panthers Rule and interact, and it's interesting. It's fun. It's enjoyable. But I don't run around begging for subs and don't beg people to watch. You've seen that. You've never seen me say, please like, comment, and subscribe. If people like the video, they'll like it. If they want to comment, they'll comment. If it's some idiotic comment, like you get these kind of people that got nothing better to do, you just delete it, you know. And if they want to subscribe, I'm sure they know better than or not. You know, they can make these. I don't need to like prompt them. What channels do I subscribe to? The ones I'm interested in. What if I get on a video channel and I just find it's no good? I unsubscribe. I don't watch it. I don't make a big complaint about it. I just think, oh, this is no good, you know, and that doesn't happen too often. It does happen. I try to watch every vid when I can. Well, thank you. I always get Panthers Rule, so I always go back and forth, which is better, blended Scotch whiskey or Canadian blended whiskey. I'm a huge fan of both. Yeah, I like both too. Like people will ask me, what's your favorite type of whiskey? My answer would be, I don't really know. I really don't know. Maybe Scotch, but then it's definitely not bourbon. I can tell you that up front. It's not bourbon. You say, oh, here come the bourbon haters. I'm not a bourbon hater. Not a bourbon lover. I have a lot of experience with grits, eating grits my whole life and that heavy corn flavor, since grits are 100% corn. And I just am not totally dedicated to drinking liquid corn products. Have I had a lot of good bourbons? Oh, yes. Blended Canadian whiskeys are interesting. some people will say, wow, they're cheating. They add flavoring, you know. Well, they're not cheating if that's the law and that's been the tradition in Canada. Okay, so in Canada, the tradition is use a lot of rye whiskey to spice it up and add wine to it, add rum to it, add even bourbon from the United States to it, just as long as it doesn't exceed 9.9% of the volume. And it's not cheating. It's the way they do it, okay? It would be like saying that Bourbon County Stout is cheating because they age it in whiskey bourbon barrels to give it more flavor. It's not cheating. It's just a way to do it. I had the Abita chocolate Dauber's cake stout yesterday. They're not cheating because they add vanilla and chocolate. They just added those flavors because they figured it would be an interesting drink to have. And it is an interesting drink to have. Is it a Reinheitsgebot beer, pure German purity law, water, barley malt, corn? I mean, corn, what's wrong with me? Oh, yeah, I'm tasting whiskey. Water, barley malt, hops, and yeast? No. And I like those beers. But, you know, everything does not have to be the same all the time. There's nothing wrong with changing these things. My favorite bourbon is Jim Beam. Probably not a huge fan of bourbon either. Says Panthers Rule. Canadian Club might be the best spirit ever, considering cost, mixing ability, and smoothness and character. I've always maintained that. I like Canadian Club. I love the 12-year aged. And then you get the people on there saying, oh, it's brown vodka. Because it's blended, you know. Well, first of all, it's not even vodka because vodka is not the same as grain neutral spirits. Vodka is generally made from that, but it's not the same. And if you think it's the same, you must have not ever read the regulations. Or you're being a twit because there's more to it. You know, don't be up there on the internet talking foolish to try to get attention or whatever. Or to be cool, like you're one of the cool whiskey people. Yeah, brown vodka, man. It's brown vodka. Doesn't make you cool. It makes you look like you don't know the rules and regulations of what you're talking about. Somebody did that yesterday, or 2 days ago, on alcohol legs. I posted a picture of Yingling, and I've been wrong in the past too, you know, eat my words and all, feel embarrassed, but I posted a photo of Yingling traditional lager, and I talked about how it was introduced in 1987. And this guy, I don't know who he is, somebody that joined Alcohol Legs, like, I can assure you it's way older than 1987. Like, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. I said, in fact, that's the year it was introduced. And I knew he was stepping into it because I knew what he was thinking. Yingling is the oldest brewing company in America, 1829. But he was wrong. Then later on, he had to say, oh, my bad. And I was like, yeah, you're bad because you didn't know what you were talking about. I did. If I put that date up there, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to check those things. And when I put that, I said, watch if somebody doesn't jump on it. And they did. They fell into it like it was like they didn't realize they were being set up. Canadian. Oh, already read that. All right. Well, thanks. So anyway, sorry I couldn't give a clear-cut winner or do anything too exciting, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And now we're going to go into some Sazerac brands. And I don't really have many Sazerac brands. I thought I did, but as it turns out, I don't. So then we'll be off to other stuff. So thanks, everybody. Y'all have a good Saturday now.